Turkey and some of its allies have been taking effective action against terrorist groups like Daesh. But Ankara says when it comes to terrorist organizations like the PKK, there is a need for greater cooperation from some of its allies. The PKK continues to operate out of Syria and Iraq. Where does that leave relations between Turkey and Iraq? We talk to Dr. Hisham Al-Alawi, Iraq's ambassador to Turkey. You're watching TRT World, and this is One-on-One Express. Ambassador, good to have you on TRT World. A very turbulent period, particularly in this region, a lot happening. What are the challenges and the priorities when you look at relations between Iraq and Turkey?
Well, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As you know, the whole region is affected by the large number of conflicts that we have in several countries. So the first priority, I think, for all the countries in the region is to work together to resolve those conflicts and create political stability. The second challenge, obviously, is countering the rise of extremism and terrorism. And the two countries have been affected and are currently facing huge challenges when it comes to the rise of terrorist organizations. The third challenge is to address the differences that we have and create a positive environment that would enable us to enhance economic and trade relations and complement each other. Our priorities is to resolve some of the issues that have led to the cooling off in the relations in the past couple of years. On the top of that, obviously, is the Bashika camp issue, the recent bombing of Sinjar and certain parts in the northwestern part of Iraq has also increased tension. So our first priority is to resolve those issues in a way that would help to create the positive environment that we need in order to enhance the relations.
Do you feel the policies that some Western countries, particularly the United States, for example, is adopting towards affiliates of the PKK is straining relations between Turkey and some of its neighbors like Iraq?
We certainly understand the concerns the Turkish government has when it comes to PKK or other groups that might pose a threat to the security and stability of Turkey. We also have our concerns, as you know, when it comes to Daesh and other relevant organizations. In general, we don't believe that unilateral action is the way forward. We believe that the best format to deal with those issues and concerns is to sit together at bilateral level, sometimes trilateral or regional level, discuss in details and use constructive dialogue to understand each other's concerns and agree on the practical steps that could help to resolve these issues. The Iraqi government is committed to preventing PKK and any other potential organizations to cause harm and instability in any of the neighboring countries, and Turkey is obviously an important neighbor for us.
Now, Turkey has been emphasizing on Iraq's territorial integrity. Turkey has been saying that it's part of its policy that there can be no compromise on Iraq's territorial integrity. But many seem to believe that there are voices in Washington and other Western centers that are talking about the end of Sykes-Picot, redrawing of a new Middle East and so forth. What's the assessment of the Iraqi government? Does Iraq feel that perhaps there are forces that want to change the very map of Iraq?
Certainly there are individuals and groups within Iraq as well as outside Iraq that have been talking and will continue to talk about this kind of approach. We certainly believe that it would be in the interest of all Iraqis, regardless of their ethnic, religious background or political views. It would be in the interest of all to work together. We don't really believe that having, for example, the independence of the Kurdistan region or any other potential region is the best way forward. We certainly need to work together, recognize each other's right, and use our resources in an effective way that would help us to create a mature, stable, and prosperous democracy.
What's your forecast, briefly, for the next 5 years?
We feel optimistic that we have managed to overcome the great challenges that we have faced since middle of 2014. We are at the last phase of defeating Daesh in Iraq. In addition to that, the government has succeeded in managing the finances and the economic situation well, to take into account the significant drop in the prices of oil. We are keen to diversify our economy and encourage more growth in the key sectors of agriculture, industries, tourism, and so on. We don't want to rely heavily on oil, and I think this is the way forward. We certainly need to see more effective regional cooperation when it comes to counter-extremism and terrorism. We should take into account that it's not enough to succeed militarily or by using intelligence measures. We also need to address the political roots, the socio-economic roots, the educational, cultural, religious roots of this phenomena. Otherwise, we will see more and more of our young men and women attracted and recruited, and this is not good for all the countries in the region and beyond.
Ambassador, thank you for talking to TRT World.